do some Q&A. Yeah.
Prebiotics in children, how those connect?
Prebiotics or probiotics?
Both. Yeah, both.
Both. So are you thinking of a specific condition? The question was, how do pro and prebiotics relate to kids?
I have a child that has a complex congenital heart defect, so she's on some pretty heavy meds for blood thinning and such. And so I was curious because I do kind of prefer the holistic approach to things. She obviously needs, Western medical as well. But
for sure. So she needs a bit of both, like that integrative approach. So I can't give you too much info because I've not done a full workup, obviously.
No,
but what I do know and what I can say confidently is probiotics are one of those supplements that doesn't interact with other medications. So it is safe. And it's safe in babies, and it's safe in children, adolescents, and throughout the lifespan. So that's something you can try. And the cool thing about Dr. Ohhira is it's like a paste. So some people can actually open that capsule and put the paste right on into a child's mouth or on an infant's kind of gums or mouth. Yeah. So, but yeah, so a probiotic is safe. Yeah.
And prebiotics.
Prebiotics are safe. I mean, these foods. Yeah.
Yeah, just okay.
Yeah. What a prebiotic is, really, it's a carb. It's a special carb called a resistant starch. Right? So it doesn't get digested, it moves through you, and your gut bugs are like, thank you so much. They eat them, and then, they poop out their short-chain fatty acids. But yeah, so prebiotics, super safe. Yeah, they're just a special carb.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Show the last slide in case anything has to leave, and we'll show you where you can get the
Thank you, Charity. Yeah, so for any of you that have to get going, please check out Botanica's website, because you'll find they put my handouts there. So you can get everything from tonight. So botanicahealth.com/gut-brain-connection/. And then the other thing I'm going to hand around, if you're interested in signing up before you leave, is our email list, because then we can send you we're always coming out with research articles. We've got a team of chefs, our neuro chefs, like even our recipes have references. But yeah, so sign up and then stay connected with us. Yes.
Will these 5 rituals help SIBO?
So yeah, SIBO's tough, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So the question was, will these 5 rituals help SIBO? The problem with SIBO is that when you have it, you will get sick from a probiotic. So what you need to do if you have SIBO is go see a naturopath or a nutritionist, get the SIBO under control. It's a 6 to 8 week program, and then absolutely these rituals help rebuild the leaky gut and leaky brain that SIBO caused. But no, if you have active SIBO, you're nodding, so you know this, you can't start the probiotic yet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I had SIBO, and then I also blessed with gut.
Okay.
So I went to naturopath.
Yeah.
SIBO for that.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so someone's just saying she's got SIBO, leaky gut, and histamine issues here. So then for someone with all those concurrent issues, then yeah, the probiotic definitely is going to be an issue till you get that under control. So those are great questions, and thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned turmeric, and every time I see anything about it, it's supposed to be really great for anti-inflammation, but it also talks about it being blood thinning. And is that a real concern?
So turmeric, it's really anti-inflammatory, but it also does exhibit blood thinning properties. So that was the question, is that okay or is that a concern? If you have a blood clotting disorder and or you are on blood thinners, then you do need to run this golden milk by your physician or your pharmacist, because it is a therapeutic dose of turmeric in the golden milk. 2,000 milligrams. So the other stuff in there is just, for fun. But the turmeric in the golden milk is therapeutic. Absolutely. So it's going to be super anti-inflammatory. So if you're concerned, ask your pharmacist about that. I believe it's safe, but I can't say that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have leaky gut,
So this person has leaky gut and restless leg syndrome together. So I actually have experience with that. My husband has really bad restless legs, so this is personal experience and also with clients. So for the leaky gut, I would start you on these rituals. For the restless leg syndrome, it's going to be a little bit different. What the clinical research is showing with restless leg syndrome is magnesium at a dose of 500 milligrams a day. And I like to work with magnesium glycinate, or if you can't find that, then magnesium citrate. It's equally effective to benzodiazepines, which is what, if you go to a doctor, you'll get put on for restless legs, you'll get put on a hardcore anti-anxiety med. It's equal effect to that without feeling, you know, drugged the next morning. So I would try the magnesium. And that didn't help either. And does the dopamine help? Yeah. Yeah, because you're getting tolerant to it. Maybe I'll talk to you after, because this seems like a more complex case. Yeah.
How is leaky gut diagnosed?
Leaky gut is diagnosed, I mean, yeah, usually just symptomatically. To my knowledge, there's not any really good, like accurate, that aren't showing tons of false positive tests for it. No, it's symptoms, yeah, so you'd be really, really sick and bloated, lots of gastrointestinal upset, and then you start getting the brain things as well. Yeah.
Can I get your opinion?
Depends.
I have MS, and I've had really severe bloating for a few years now. Just like constant, I feel like I'm pregnant all the time. And major brain fog. And I've struggled with depression for a long time, but it's turning into super hardcore anxiety.
Yeah, so what we're seeing, and again, it's still preclinical, so unfortunately I can't compare you to a rat, but what I'm seeing in the rat research is that, yeah, in MS models, the microbiome is just shot. So I would recommend starting there, but yeah, you're very correctly, you're identifying these GI symptoms that are correlated to your neurological disease. So start approaching that.
Yeah, I've been seeing a naturopath and doctors for years, and we're not really getting anywhere.
And talk to you after. Yeah.
Are there other supplements you suggest other than the 5 rituals and the couple you mentioned, the probiotics and the golden milk for leaky gut?
For leaky gut? Yeah, so for leaky gut, if these rituals don't work, then we start to look at things like L-glutamine.
Right.
Or we start to look at things like aloe vera.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We're on probiotics, but do you see that somebody needs to take the digestive enzymes after every time?
Okay, so great question. So do we need digestive enzymes? Well, it depends. If you're symptomatic, when you eat, you could really try and benefit from digestive enzymes. Yeah, so try it out. If you try them and it's helping, yeah. And then go off them after a couple months, you know, because we see when we start healing, especially things like leaky gut, your digestive enzymes come back. So you're not going to need to be on digestive enzymes forever. Yeah.
I've had 5 diverticulitis attacks.
Oh.
And when you have that, they give you the strongest antibiotics they have to kill that. And as a result, my system has completely changed.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to figure it all out and get back to
Yeah.
my
So you will. So, okay, first question. So the question was, she has diverticulitis. She's had 5 flare-ups and bouts of antibiotics. So did you take probiotics when you were on the antibiotics?
I took that.
Okay, so that's the first thing. I mean, this is hindsight, but this can teach other people. You can take your probiotics with your antibiotic regimen as long as it's spaced apart by at least 4 hours. So that's the first thing. And then for you, yeah, because it's too late when you start taking them after, but then for you, I mean, yeah, diverticulitis, I've worked with it. There's stuff you can do. It's just going to take time now to like fix those inflamed pockets.
It's caused like weight gain because you can't eat the good food. You have to eat crappy food that has no fiber. And you gain weight because of that.
Yeah, it's the opposite of these foods because these will hurt you. So one thing I would recommend trying, if you haven't tried it already, is start maybe a little bit of these foods, but really ground up. So I would never recommend raw nuts and seeds for you. But have you tried just a tiny bit of, you know, seed or nut butter? And I would never recommend raw fruits or veg for you, but can you do them steamed?
Yeah, I can do this.
Exactly. So that's where I would start.
That's what I've been doing.
Okay, good.
Slowly,
because you can't go into these foods right away. So thank you so much for sharing. This is a great example, and I can talk to you after about it, or my card's up here. But yeah, you're a unique case, so we can't just jump you into these food rituals. But eventually, I've had clients, it takes like a year, but then they can get to these.
The coconut oil.
That.
Like the bulletproof cotton.
Yeah, you can try that.
Seems to feel quite a bit about that. Like I can feel a bit
Okay, so it's helping her with the coconut oil, so absolutely, if that's helping. Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously the science is there if you're a natural sensitivity patient with gluten and wheat, but I want to know your opinion on sensitivity and yeah. Like,
So not celiac?
Like do you eat wheat yourself?
I do.
I'm just curious. Just feel like
Is that okay? I don't know. So is there a correlation between celiac or the sensitivity you speak of? Is actually, we have a term for it, is non-celiac gluten sensitivity and CGS. Is that related to leaky gut? I've not seen science on it. My gut feeling right away says yeah. 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 No? Yeah.
I'm really new question to someone online, so maybe I'll
Please, yeah. Everyone online, sorry, I hope you guys don't feel ignored.
They're wondering, they're wondering.
Someone called. Okay, I'm speaking right to you.
I didn't get their name, but they're wondering about the research that's coming out about not prescribing a probiotic to somebody who has an autoimmune disorder.
Okay.
Or something of the nature.
Okay, so that's wonderful. I'm not up to speed on that research, so I'd love to, start looking at it. Because to my knowledge, with autoimmune disease, you can absolutely, put people on a probiotic.
Yeah, she also mentioned that maybe it triggers a different immune pathway that you need to awareness.
Well, the one that I'm most up to speed on is the MS literature, and probiotics are helping. And that's a really significant in my line of work, like a neurological disorder. And with that, we certainly see value of probiotics. So that's interesting.
I've actually heard and read a bit about that.
Yeah.
And it seems to be the high dose isolated strains of probiotics.
Interesting.
In like the 1,500 billions, where it can cause a trigger and overactivity.
Interesting.
In somebody who already has an autoimmune condition.
Okay, so you want something like your product has a lower kind of, dosing, but it's all coming from the whole food. So that's interesting. So so I can speak to it more. So that's super interesting. Yeah.
Other than antibiotics and not taking them at the same time as probiotics, are there other medications that shouldn't be taken at the same time? I'm immunosuppressed and I often take my suppressants and probiotics at the same time, and I'm wondering if they should be
Probiotics you can take with medications. There's other supplements and meds that you absolutely should never take together, or you like within a few hours, or you should just not even take together because they can turn on you. But yeah.
So I have the magical mystery CFF70, and I know that it's some research is connecting MS treatments and strategies to people with ME. Have you got any reading, research, anything?
No, sorry, can't speak to it. I wish I could. Yeah.
It's a little bit about dairy in your yogurt as a probiotic. Do you eat dairy and do research on yogurt as a dairy probiotics and what other research says about dairy itself?
Okay, so what is the scoop on dairy? Yeah, I still eat dairy in moderation. In terms of the research on the probiotics in dairy, it's kind of like the first food that was even studied scientifically with probiotics. So it's got the most number of studies on it. And now things like kombucha are being studied and sauerkraut, and that's all very cool. But yogurt still is kind of like your bona fide probiotic-rich food. Now, having said that, if you're sensitive to dairy and it's mounting this massive inflammatory immune response, then no. You know what? Don't take the dairy, don't take the yogurt for the probiotics, get it from a non-dairy source. Yeah. And then even just a random tidbit, but back to the celiac comment, there's an 80% overlap between having a gluten sensitivity and a dairy one. So if you're celiac or you're gluten sensitive, I would recommend going off the dairy too. What we see in our clients is that's not forever. Gluten might be forever for you. But dairy, if you just go off for 3 to 6 months on average, usually you can bring it back. But there is an overlap of sensitization there. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
And I'm working in some case studies right now.
Yep. I mark those.
Yeah.
I still teach twice a year just because I love it, and then I come back at the year end and I'm like the hardcore, like the final marker. I'm like, what's your name?
But basically, with my case studies, I also have a hamburger business, and I do like a double ferment. And what I suggest to them with like probiotics is I usually try to suggest like an ounce to either a tablespoon of fermented foods or drinks with each meal.
Yeah.
Do you think that's enough or not?
I don't know, and that's why I supplement, and that's why sometimes the haters are like, I can't believe you're holistic and you're talking about supplements and stuff, but I don't know. So the question is, you know, she's working with clients, she's doing her case studies, and you know, she's recommending a couple tablespoons with each meal. Is it enough? I don't know. I don't know the doses. Yeah.
And would you suggest before or during? Because I've heard multiple different things.
Before a meal or during?
Yeah.
I think either. I've heard both too.
Yeah, okay. So it's not like
It's a great ritual. It's a great habit. Like I said, at Nutrition, our clients get probiotic, prebiotic foods once or 3 times a day. But again, the dosing's hard. Because I can't tell them the perfect dose of the perfect brand of like cacao. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
2 very different questions, if I may.
Yes.
Does your handout include resources, research for disbelieving doctors and obstetricians about the gut biome?
No. So does my handout have a compilation of any resources of like disbelieving doctors on their opinion of the microbiome? No. No, I put together some research studies and really cool review papers by some of my colleagues I respect the most that have to do with my talk tonight. But you can email me. If you're curious and you want more stuff, I can see what I have.
I know people I need to pass it on to.
Okay, yeah.
And would you add anything to your rituals for chemo brain?
Oh, wonderful question. Would I add anything to these rituals for a chemo brain, someone who's gone through chemotherapy? Absolutely. I would, with the client who's gone recently through chemotherapy, really rev up the liver love, the detoxification pathways to help them clear that stuff. Yeah. So by things like that, if you're wanting to do it through whole foods, I would be ramping up things like cilantro, things like lemon, things with pectin, like apples and sea vegetables, those sorts of things, every day, every meal. Mint? Peppermint? Yeah. Any final thoughts, comments? Yeah.
Children born by C-section, just giving them probiotics.
Absolutely. Yeah, so if you have a child, born by C-section, you can open up the ohiras and you can rub it either on you if you're breastfeeding or on the baby's gum. Yeah. So there's hope. It's just like I want to get this knowledge out there, you know, instead of I feel so bad, like parents come to me and they're so guilty, you know, it wasn't my birth plan. Like, I get that, but there's things now you can know and arm yourself with and do. Yeah.
Even if you're older.
Yeah, it's never too late, like, to start, like, fixing your microbiome, right? Because it's there with you for life, so, yeah.
Do you have any evidence that some people are predisposed to needing, like, more of a particular macronutrient or micronutrient? So, like, omegas, for example?
Yes, we do, and in particular, so what we see, for example, randomly, in those with schizophrenia, they need much more omega-3s. Their liver is sick in such a way that they're burning through them way faster than healthy populations. So really, we see some interesting weird stuff come out in certain disorders where they need more. And they need, you know, we call it orthomolecular or megadose therapy. So they would need more than what's just on the bottle. Yeah, in the back.
Just curious question about the testing procedure. I don't know if you mentioned it.
I can't come closer.
I might have not heard it, but is there any relation to genetics passing down from parent to child back in relation to vitamin testing?
What do you mean by testing?
Well, like, for instance, a parent has got Crohn's colitis.
Yeah.
And the baby that doing testing with baby that goes on. Does it change anything?
Is there an influence of genetics on testing? That's a good question, and I'm sure there is. I would just have to look further into it. Like, I think genetics plays a big role in all of these, but I also believe environment does too. So yeah.
If one was going to start taking the 5-year probiotic, would would you do it like every day for the rest of your life, or like is there?
Yeah, so there's no research to suggest that you ever need to go off it, which is great. Some of these supplements you do need to stop for a while and allow what we call a washout period. Let it leave your blood before you take it again. Probiotics you can take forever, but I don't know that you necessarily have to. Yeah, yeah.
How long would you take his product?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, like Zohira's, like we've had clients on it for a year, 2 years, and then I always encourage like take a break and see what happens. Yeah. Any more questions? I know my email list is coming around, so hang tight if you want to get on that. Yeah.
You mentioned the probiotic, the prebiotic, and I forgot what you called the amalgamation of the two.
Psychobiotic.
Okay, so if you can benefit from both, show the probiotic, why did you need both?
Exactly, so you do need both, right? So probiotics are great, but then they also need their food. They're hungry too. So one great whole food example would be if you're okay with dairy or a non-dairy version of a yogurt, probiotic. Sprinkle on some raw cacao. It tastes better, it's fun, and now there's a good example of a probiotic and the prebiotic together. It works better. So there's like a good example. Or your sweet baked potato or baked yam with some fermented, you know, some raw butter or some sour cream or buttermilk. Pro and prebiotic together. Like smart, right? And it tastes better too. Yeah.
All right, so my question is, I have a 9-year-old daughter and she's vegetarian and allergic to shellfish, so she won't eat any fish. She also has some ADHD tendencies and some anxiety. So other than the algae you suggested, how can I support her boredom brain?
Okay, so there's a lot you can do, and again, I'd have to do a full workup, but yeah, the first thing would be the algae, with the ADHD, and the probiotic, of course, always. And then specifically with ADHD, what we're starting to see is a really nice combined effect of vitamin B6 and magnesium for ADHD brain. But email me for dosing, okay? Like, don't just start her on that, but there's some really good programs for ADHD that you can explore that I would recommend. Yeah, yeah. Okay, the final couple questions, yeah.
You're talking about the vagus nerve and the way it communicates with the gut for motility.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions about how to control that naturally?
How can we naturally control the vagus nerve? I don't know. I wish there was a way we could just like naturally like tickle it and then it revved up and then inflammation went down. I don't know. I don't know.
There's yoga poses that stimulate the vagus nerve.
So I'm so happy to be in this world now. So apparently,
I can't think of it from the top of my head, but I have
demo. Right now. So apparently there's yoga poses that stimulate vagal nerve. That's fascinating to me. Sorry, Charity?
Gurgling.
Oh, gurgling.
So I guess it's like
gargling. Oh. Weird. Awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm wondering, Charity, should I move downstairs to continue Q&A? Because there's people waiting down there as well. Yeah.